Previously on Talk That Talk.
Some offline situation, but
so, hey, Jill Scott. See this? I gotta call you. I gotta call you what I call you. I don't call you no TT. But let me ask you this question while we do have you on here. What is it? What has this process of being basically the only female announcer in HBCU swag band or just HBCU culture period? What has that process been like since you started this journey till now, especially this past weekend? She wasn't ready for no interviews.
I feel like I crabbed twice or 3 times. It is not for the faint of heart. It is not an easy walk, but it is my ministry.
I know that's right.
And that's why I always take a moment. And I always ask, ever since Atlanta 2020 Honda, I remember someone came to me at that final practice and was like, "You're the only girl here. I just wanted you to know that." And it's bittersweet because I admire Gremlin and how they have a female head band director and the first female drum major. Even at Prairie View, when we definitely represent with having women in leadership, there was a time where I remember hearing, "Ain't no females in the band. Ain't no female. I would never listen to a female section leader." And it's just like, but you're going to hear me though. You're going to hear me. You're going to feel me. And not because I even want to be put in a situation where you have to hear me, but because God put me in that situation where you have to hear me because I have to hear him. I'm called by him. And so I am an acquired taste. I'm not a strange fruit, but I'm an acquired taste. And I know that I am not for everybody. And
put that on a shirt.
I'm at peace with that now. I used to struggle with that. And it was not always easy. I was just talking to my best friend about it last night. It took years for me to learn to be okay with the boos as well as the applauses. I don't hear either, honestly, but I definitely I'm at peace anyway, because there's always somebody who was meant to hear something I said that resonated with their spirit, which is the reason why they got inspired to go to college, whether it's PV or Grambling or Southern. I have so many babies that went to my alma mater back in Lancaster who are at Grambling and who are like, "TT, you know, every time I see you, man, you get me so hyped because I remember when we started." It puts so much in a perspective for me. God had his hands on me. You know what I mean? There was a time where I dreamt of coming to Prairie View and just marching. I was 10 years old when I first heard Sequence and didn't even see the band. I just heard the cadence and followed my heart till I found it. And at 15, maybe younger, my mom said I was younger, but when they took me to the Battle of the Bands, that's when I saw the storm for the first time. And I told her I was going to do that. So then to go through everything that I went through and come to Prairie View and just have the honor and the privilege to just be a part of the storm and play my little trumpet, my little dirty third, be my little Jill Scott self. And then all of that other stuff happened and becoming the announcer, it is truly a testament to how grand God is for me. I always say I serve a grand God. He does grand things. He cannot be contained. And because I serve a God that cannot be contained, neither can I. And I am in a culture sometimes where people try to contain me. They try to keep me back in Marching Storm circa 1991 to 1995. And I don't respond, but I see everything because I admire everything. I respect everything. I respect the craft. I respect the legacy. But becoming like one of the only female announcers in HBCU culture period, whether it's SWAC, MEAC, or what have you, I've only met 2 other women female announcers ever. It's hard because I want so much more for us. Not just because we're women, but because if you have that power and that voice that can literally eat up a room and light it up and make it just disappear, if you can disseminate energy just off of your own, you need to put that somewhere where it can be amplified. And whether people understand why I am the way I am, I don't care, because I do it for myself. I do it for my soul. I do it for those who ain't got a voice no more, who can't talk anymore, for the angels that came before me. And I do it for the storm, because we bond. We have that feeling, and it just feels so good to be there. And I hope there's a little girl, a little 14-year-old girl sitting up in the nosebleeds like I was, looking to her mom or dad saying, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. Because they reach out. They DM. They do. Like, the influence is real. It's not about, I want to shine. Shining is just 1% of all of this. Like, if anybody knows the real grind behind, and I'm sure all of y'all do. All of y'all know that the notoriety is maybe 1%. You shine and you go right back into the lab and you grind all over again, and you get dirty and you get ugly, and the blood, sweat, and tears come all over again. Like, people don't even know. While the band's last band practice might be at like 9:30, 10, or whenever we're done on a band tour, on a band trip, mine ends around 4:35 in the morning with a water bottle as a microphone in my hotel room until I feel like in my soul I got it. Until I feel like I got it, I don't care what nobody says. I don't care. You can't tell me. And I'll be in there, okay, no, you said it too many times. And I just sit with myself. And I feel like Dr. Zachary and you and Brown and so many more y'all have no idea, like, what y'all have instilled in me and the beast y'all have created. Because I used to care about, oh my God, I hope these comments don't be negative this week.
I used to tell you, don't worry about
them. You remember the first time in El Paso, I freezed at practice.
Yeah.
I literally stopped talking.
I remember.
I was afraid. That was the first time Dr. Zachary was like, I'm going to try you out. And I was just like, I just wanted to go to El Paso to see what the weather was like.
I remember because we had went through like this season of like 3 or 4 different guys, and it just didn't work out. And then we brought you in, and I remember that. And I remember I pulled you aside. I was like, "Yo, you all right? Just be you. Just relax. Don't trip." Yeah. And then when we got in El Paso, I pulled you aside again. Like, you got this. Just do this, and you'll be okay. And then I think if I'm not mistaken, that same day they were like, "Well, shoot, we're just gonna get you announced for the whole daggone show." Then
they came to our bus and asked me to host the actual whole battle of the bands. So I didn't just announce for our band, but I announced for the entire event.
Yep.
It makes room for you.
And the young lady, and that was Mississippi Valley's announcer. She was female, and it was me, her, and them. And then they went back down, and it was like, okay, well, we're just gonna let you do it. And I was just like, are y'all sure? But, I think for me, it's like, people believe in me. So I have to. That's the thing. Like, you can't doubt yourself. You can't keep doubting yourself, because somebody looks to you for confidence. Somebody looks to you for assurance. Maybe, and y'all have no ideas. Like, when I'm standing on that sideline, right before I call off that PV, right before I start talking, the drum majors and I are sharing last words. We're calming each other. I'm making eye contact. Kevin, God rest his soul, used to be one of the people that I always looked to right before I started talking. You know what I mean? And no one knows that, because all they see is she's pacing back and forth. What is she doing? What is she saying? I'm praying. I'm setting the atmosphere, and I no longer see y'all. I can't see y'all. I can't hear y'all. I've transformed. And people think, oh, well, she just be doing too much. And it's like, I ain't even started yet. I haven't even started yet. And I think the hardest part is that some people who don't get it, don't want to get it, don't realize that I'm doing this for y'all. I'm doing this for y'all, because there's a moment where people like me didn't exist. And I get it. I'm going to make you uncomfortable, because not only am I a woman, but then I come in with a different style of announcing. I'm incorporating the show in the show. I'm incorporating myself in the show and bringing the crowd into the show. And you used to, ladies and gentlemen, the band. And it's like, that's okay, because that's what works for you. That's your style. But I'm incomparable. And until you learn that, you're never gonna like me. And I'm okay with that. Because you do not sign my checks. Yes.
Listen.
That's where I am with it.
Will there be one? Will there be?
Put that on a shirt. You do not sign my checks. I'm gonna have to start using that. What you say?
You know that's a Dr. Zachary quote.
It'll be in the store.
Last time he had to curse me out about being scared.
Will there be one?
It'll be in the store very soon.
Me and Justin gonna be deacons at the door. Will there be one?
No, I'm sorry.
Now open
with your gloves on, white gloves on.
Yeah,
Jill, you know I love you. I will tell you that a million times, and whenever I see you get big hugs from me, I will always.
You always make me cry.
Yeah, you know I don't know how I do that, but I'm glad I have that effect on you. That I guess that means I've done something in your life that has really touched you, and I'm proud of it, and I thank God for it. But you are so awesome. You keep doing your thing. There's no amount of words I can say that just say how awesome you are. Quan went and got his but no, I just wanted to bring you on because we were going through the different shows and we were talking about you, and I said, look at here, I will bring her in here and I will let her speak for herself. And then Scarfinger was trying to shoot a shot, but I guess his gun didn't fire anymore.
He chickened out.
He ain't said not a word.
He ran out of bullets.
Yeah, he